Remember the video I did a couple days ago about the TikToker who was using tarot cards to try to deduce who was behind the murders in the University of Idaho, and she just pulled out a random name and said, this person did it, or she put a hit out because she was romantically involved with one of the people who lost their lives, and that person sued this TikToker because when you're somebody who hasn't done anything wrong and you're being put on social media as a murderer, of course, you're going to sue somebody for defamation because you're not somebody who's a murderer, and somebody on TikTok claiming you are one deserves to face a consequence for lying about you.
University of Idaho college students and why. Their murder was ordered by Rebecca Schofield. Her targets were Kaylee and Madison. Rebecca was highly interested in Kaylee. She spent a lot of time fantasizing and thinking about her. They may have had some sort of fling. But ultimately, because of stubbornness and inability to see eye to eye, they broke it off. When they broke it off, Kaylee and Madison was seen together, and Rebecca did not like this because she felt that it could cause her trouble. She could get snitched on for dating a student. She was so consumed and worried about losing respect, admiration, and her possessions that she hired the killer to carry out the murder. The killer did it simply for money and to be back into school and so that he can finish his studies. He was previously in trouble and may be kicked out of housing.
Well, you'll be shocked. In a stunning turn of events that absolutely none of us could have seen coming, this TikToker has a little bit of egg on her face because the police have arrested somebody who they deem to be the main suspect of this, and you will be shocked and stunned to know it's none of the people she's made TikToks on.
And with breaking news just into the Eyewitness newsroom, a suspect in the murder of 4 college students in Idaho has been arrested in Monroe County. 2822 Eyewitness News I-Team reporter Andy Mahalchik is working the story and joins us with the very latest. Andy, what have you learned?
Well, good afternoon, Sean. Lots of moving parts. This story is still unfolding even as we speak. Again, with the case in University of Idaho students. A male taken into custody overnight, confirmed by NBC News. Let me go right to the mugshot. I believe we have it from Monroe County. This is the individual that was taken into custody here in Monroe County sometime overnight. His name is Brian Kohlberger. We do not know the exact specifics of why he was taken to custody, but Brian Kohlberger was taken into custody here in Monroe County sometime overnight. Now, NBC News says the 4 law enforcement sources are confirming with them. Also, sources close to with knowledge of the investigation confirms with Eyewitness News that, again, that person, a male, now we are hearing is Brian Kohlberger, is in custody in connection with the murder of those 4 University of Idaho students back on November 13th. Of course, their bodies were found at a home on King Road in Moscow, Idaho, an off-campus home near the university back on November 13th. They're identified as Kaylee Congalvis, 21, Zana Kernodal, 20, Madison Mogen, 21, and Ethan Chapin, 20. Now, we have team coverage of this right now. We're also finding out that he was apparently taken into custody in connection with this case at a neighborhood here in Monroe County. We're checking that now. We also understand that the court documents were at District Judge Michael Muth's office here in East Stroudsburg. We understand that Kohlberger was arraigned by video conference on charges. Again, we're not sure what those charges are. The court documents have not been released. We've been efforting those documents all morning long. We are told they will be released later today. We also know that Moscow, Idaho police and the University of Idaho officials are holding a news conference 4 o'clock our time, 1 o'clock Idaho time, to release more information about the latest developments, presumably about this situation, the man being taken into custody. But once again, confirming from NBC News and the AP that a man by the name of Brian Kohlberger was taken into custody sometime overnight and lodged at the Monroe County Prison in connection with the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students, Congalvis, Kernodal, Mogen, and Chapin. Again, it all began back on November 13th. They were found stabbed to death inside their home. 2 roommates who were with them, lived in the same home, were not harmed. We also know police have been looking for a white Elantra, a 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra, a white one. We're not sure if that was found in this area, but again, we're still working on getting paperwork from the court.
Now, in the last video, I did a tarot reading on this woman, and I deduced based on a condom that she was fucked. And I think it's time for us to do this tarot card reading once again because of the new developments in this story. Oh my God, 3 condoms. You know what that means, guys? She's 3 times as fucked. Do you understand how stupid you have to be to get on any platform uniform and just randomly point at one person and say, you're a murderer. Wasn't it a couple months ago I had to criticize a bunch of people who were going around blaming a random transgender for a school shooting, and their reasoning for it was to own the left? It was dumb then, and in this instance, it's dumb now. You have no evidence. You've admitted to having nothing but tarot cards and a feeling and ideas. Those are not conclusive pieces of evidence to figure out who did this. It is a travesty that this happened, and I repeat what I said in the last video. How are you gonna sit there and just randomly point at somebody and think it's perfectly fine and there's no consequence to be brought upon you? How are you as a family member supposed to feel knowing that you just lost somebody close to you around Christmas time, around a time where everybody's supposed to get around and love each other and have fun as a family? You see somebody just pointing out one random person and thinking that they have all the knowledge. You would be pissed off that this is happening, because instead of focusing on the evidence and hoping that the police find the person that actually did this, we got to worry about some random TikToker saying somebody at the school did it. It's pointless. It's absolutely disgusting. It's abhorrent. And you sitting there realizing that the walls are closing in on you, it makes me oh so satisfied. You still making TikToks about all this, still blaming this professor outright, and then subliminally talking about how the consequences are not realized upon her yet, when you should be talking about yourself, because you're still broadcasting this and you still walking around thinking you're in the right and everybody else criticizing you is in the wrong.
So I got served today with a lawsuit officially. Now I can provide my answer. And this is where the tables turn. When Rebecca Schofield, the one who murdered the 4 Idaho college students, see my videos, she's going to realize that it's very hard to outrun consequences of her actions because they seem to never stop. She's going to try not to panic and rush her decisions, and she's going to plan her escape. She's going to feel like she has options, and she's going to try to keep a level head. She's going to be relieved that the person who is in the middle of the gossip is not someone she knows, but she'll still feel a little betrayal. She's relieved to see that it appears that people, although are hearing what I'm saying, are not taking me seriously. That's what it appears, though. Then her plan that she had with the killer is not going to go through. It's not going to work out. Then she's going to feel like she's running out of options. Then the killer who executed the murder is going to come out of hiding. But he'll feel stuck as well as he tried to plan his escape.
And who knows, maybe she'll pull the rabbit out the hat. Maybe she'll walk in the courtroom and say, oh my God, I got all the evidence necessary to prove that she did it. And we all gonna have egg on our faces. But for right now, it looks like you the one that's stupid, because instead of doing the most rational thing on the planet, which is waiting for more information, you instead wanted to be an internet sleuth and think you in the comfort of your apartment or home, I don't know, don't criticize me for that, and saying, I have everything necessary because my tarot card said so. And you didn't do any form of research past that. You are disturbing, disgusting, and an overall putrid human being, and you deserve the consequences that come upon you, because framing somebody for something they didn't do on such a public scale deserves to be criticized, whether if they have 1 lawyer, 3 lawyers, or 10 lawyers. You're gonna realize when you mess with a bull, they're gonna hire some lawyers with horns. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.